Here is the newly released double Armadillo. This allows one to clean twice as many tubes without adding any labor costs. The cost savings are pretty obvious, but just as important is the convenience of the versatile Armadillo being able to fit into tight spaces and produce the spectacular results we have come to expect from this machine. We index the hose from one tube to the next, here moving 2 tubes at a time. We are really excited about the double Armadillo, so please give us a call with any questions you might have. Now, of course, very few tube sets have the perfectly horizontal tubes as in the previous sequence, so we'll show you the popular patented feature of our indexer. Each side of the indexer is controlled independently, so you can adjust to match whatever angle your tube set is at. This will allow you to move across the tube set with just a single horizontal or X move. As you can see, the indexer is infinitely adjustable to match any angle that you encounter. It is these kind of features that have made the Armadillo so popular and qualified it to be named by ExxonMobil as the best practice for heat exchanger tube cleaning in ExxonMobil facilities. Here you can see the Armadillo indexes from one tube to the next with just the single X movement. A new optional feature on the Armadillo will make the X move of a specific distance unique to each tube set with just one click of the switch. This feature can provide substantial time savings from tube to tube and can really add up when applied to the hundreds of moves on one tube set. The hose in this sequence is moving at about 50 RPM and moving in and out of the tube at about 30 feet per minute. Now we will increase the RPMs up to about 150 RPM and the propel-repel moving at about 40 feet per minute. It is this RPM and propel adjustments that allow you to adjust the water jetting process to meet any difficult conditions that you encounter. In addition to the rotational and in and out speed adjustments, different nozzle designs can be used to further refine the cleaning process to the idea of the tubes. Finally, we have increased the rotational speed to about 250 RPM and the propel-repel speed to about 45 feet per minute. The Armadillo will actually go all the way up to about 350 RPM. Here is an interesting view of the hose spinning and coming at you, looking in from the other end of the tube. Of course, in operation, there would be a tremendous volume of water coming out of this nozzle, and the view would not be visible. Next, we will add water to the process. Here is a still shot of the tip staying in one place. Now we will add water, which is at very low pressure, just to highlight the processing of the tube that will take place. Next, we'll move the hose in and out without any rotation, just so you can see the water action. Then we will add some rotation. At a slow rotational speed of 60 RPM, you can see the shape of the water stream and how it has a machining-like action against the ID surface of the tube. Remember, we are at a very low water pressure in this demo. Now we will slowly increase the RPM here to about 100 RPM. Now we increase to about 200 RPM. As we increase to 300 RPM, it gets very difficult to see, so we turn the water off momentarily. And finally, we increase to our top speed of 350 RPM. There are 3 primary controls for the Armadillo technician to adjust in order to get great results. The first is the tip design, which can change the direction and intensity of the water stream that we just saw. The second, as we illustrated, is the rotational speed, here set at about 75 RPM. Third is the linear movement through the tube, or the propel, here set at 30 feet per minute. In this sequence, watch how the propel speed is set a little too fast for the rotational speed, causing what we call spiraling, where the water stream is not hitting 100% of the ID surface of the tube, causing the cleaning of that ID to be incomplete. To avoid this, we increase the rotational speed to 150 RPM while keeping the same propel speed. Now the spray covers 100% of the ID surface and actually overlaps its coverage on each rotation. It is important to match your rotational speed to your propel speed in a manner to completely clean the ID of the tube. The hardness of the material that is being cleaned will dictate these speeds. With a very hard or difficult material on the ID of the tube, we would use a slow rotational speed and a very slow propel speed in order to increase the dwell time on the material on the ID of the tube. With a softer or easier to remove material, we can increase both the rotational speed and the propel speed because the easier material does not require the longer dwell time to remove it. If you view our video, which is available on the internet, or if you request we can send it to you, we remove solid concrete from a 1.5 inch diameter tube. You'll note there that we are moving through the tube at only about 8 feet per minute because that material is so hard. Again, this is Doug Swanstrom with Aqua Sales, the company that sells and distributes the Armadillo. I sincerely hope this video has been helpful and informative. I encourage you to contact Dan Garman or me with any questions that you have about the Armadillo tube cleaning system and the best practice designation that the machine has been awarded by ExxonMobil.